Well, hey fans, welcome back to another streaming review, and today we're talking about Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 1. So, Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 1 is the first third of the final season of Cobra Kai, and this follows Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang Karate, who have now combined into one dojo as they prepare for the Sekai Taikai, and they need to figure out which of their 6 fighters will represent the dojo. Now, of course, this creates a little bit of animosity between LaRusso and Johnny because each of them thinks they have the best fighters, and now that they're one dojo, they need to figure out a way to get who are the actual best fighters to move forward. And seeing as these dojos have now combined and Cobra Kai is now officially dead, even though that's still the name of the show, it is interesting to see all of these kids who were once friends and became enemies and became friends again and now are enemies again, all having to work together to figure out how they're going to move forward and not have this conflict. And some of the best ways that this is illustrated is when Robbie tries to reconnect with Kenny, even though he's the one who got him into Cobra Kai. He's trying to, get him to let go of his anger and, be more like a Miyagi-Do type of fighter. And he's just having a lot of trouble with that through the series. Eventually he kind of breaks through to him, but there's still a lot going on with Kenny being as young as he is and just kind of being lost and, all of that stuff. That's probably the best storyline this season. A lot of the other storylines like Johnny and Daniel getting into fights and hitting each other, that's been like rehashed in every season, and it's getting kind of boring to this point to where it kind of feels like, if you look at Cobra Kai, the best season is probably like the first 2. Seasons 1 and season 2 are the best season. The more they went along, it kind of gets a little more crazier, kind of like the Fast and Furious franchise, but not on that level, but you get what I'm saying. It just gets a little more unrealistic. Now, if you accept that the show is still fun to watch, you can still go along with it, but I do kind of miss the beginnings, and we're kind of getting away from that. Now, back to what I was saying earlier about the dojos having to pick their best 6 fighters. If you are someone who's watched this series from the beginning, you know who the best 5 fighters at least are, and that is going to be Miguel, Robbie, Sam, Tori, Hawk. Those are your top 5 best fighters. And your underdogs, people who could potentially become good fighters, are Devin and Kenny. Those are the 2. And when you watch the show, you're like, okay, we know who are going to be the 6 fighters that choose. It's going to be 3 girls and 3 guys. And unfortunately, with Kenny being the 4th guy, he was not going to get picked. And they kind of have to throw a curveball in there to, let the audience know, like, you think you know who's going to be, but it's not going to be. But when they end up choosing the final roster and they include, I forget the geeky character's name, but he's included as one of the best fighters because they do this weird type of capture the flag thing to do it. You're like, but he's not the best fighter. He's not. He wins over Hawk, by the way. You're like, he's not better than Hawk as a fighter. That's just ridiculous. But things work out. Hawk ends up still going. Tori ends up going back to Cobra Kai. They don't explain how she gets to Asia, that part of it. So overall, I thought it was a fine start to the season, although I am getting a little weary of rehashing these storylines. In terms of a score, I'm going to give it a good 4 out of 5. I thought it was fine. And now that I'm getting this review out late, so part 2 is out today. So I'm going to watch that and see how they continue the storyline with them actually in the Sekai Taikai now. There's been no connections to the movie that is coming out next year. I believe that connection will be made in the final third of the season. There's been no connection to the next Karate Kid, which we are all waiting for. And maybe they're saving that connection for the very end or for the movie. We will see, but those are my thoughts. I'd like to thank you guys again for joining me for this streaming review. Remember, you can find the full review on YouTube and the website, flipfrogllc.com/flixfrog. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. And please, pretty please, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.